So as you can see, I made another pickup off camera. I didn't really fancy filming it if you've seen it before, so I think it's fine. And that's what I was afraid of. There were two cracks, and as soon as I cut this free, it just fell down. But that's nothing I can't fix. Right, so now the fretwork. I had to cut through the binding again because I'd reflattened the fretboard after installing the second version of the inlay, which by the way is looking really good. But yeah, I also didn't have a fret radiusing jig, so what you can see here is I used I planed a round surface on a piece of wood and then made a little slot in it, and that allowed me to bend the fret wire around it, creating a nice curve, and it worked excellently. The only thing I did wrong was I used the wrong hammer for hammering it in, so there were a few dents, but yeah, final fretwork will clean that up. So here you can see me making a brass back for the backplate, if that makes sense. And this was in order to make the backplate flat again, which had warped quite extensively. But this is where it all goes wrong. I'm clamping these together, which basically just means I'm bending the brass to the wood instead of the other way around. I should have actually glued those together between some flat plates, which I didn't do, which in the end meant that it's still wobbly. So yeah, that didn't work. So what I did then is I made another backplate out of purple heart. That was quite the cut to make. It was like 30 degrees outside that side then, so yeah, that was sweaty work. So you may agree that this is too much purple heart, and the other backplate was looking way nicer, and I agree. So my plan was to actually still use this old backplate and inlay it into the new backplate, making just a nice border out of purple heart. And that's what I'm doing here, at least what I'm preparing. Alright, now the only thing left to do is inlay this into the backplate. Yay! Staining, yay! Now, what I'm doing here is applying black stain because I'm basically doing a very similar thing to the Nebula build from Crimson Guitars, which is a galaxy-ish finish. So what I'm first doing is making it black, then sanding that back to nicely bring out the grain. And then I'm just playing with colors, purple, lots of blue, green, yellow, and a tiny bit of red. And there's also a bit of red in the wood itself, so that ties it in nicely. And at first, right here, I'm doing the back, but I'm not staining the purple heart. I thought that would not look nice. In the end, I decided against it uh, because it just didn't look like one whole thing, but more three separate pieces of wood which were stained slightly differently. So later on, I'm just adding stain there. So here I am making a truss rod cover out of ebony, matching with the fretboard, and I'm inlaying that into the headstock itself. It just makes this a little bit more tidy and a little bit more unique, and it clears up the well quite deep edge which you need for accessing the truss rod. And I got it so good that it was actually press fit. So I thought, well, I'm going to use that, and I'm not going to put in any screw whatsoever. So I made this nice little block, and it's a press fit. What's better? Like, no screws is always better than screws. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And yeah, it's another unique piece. What to do? What to do? Oh, I know. Aki, your best choice. Oh, okay. And with that, it's time for finishing. So while you're watching me apply this first layer of oil, a couple of things. This was filmed last week somewhere, and by then I still had a lot of work to do because I didn't have a bridge. I wanted to make that myself. I didn't have a tailpiece, strap buttons, jack sockets. I needed to do the fretwork. Yeah, as you can imagine, there was a lot of work left to be done. So what I decided on was that episode 9, the final video in this series, will be delayed until after the deadline because I need to hand in the full build video, and that's a lot of work to edit. And the time I have left right now, it's just 2 days, and I need to do the entire video. I just finished the guitar, and yeah, so next video this thing is finished. But it will also be a recap on the entire build, and then in the final episode, which will come a little later than that, I will focus more on what I did to the bridge and just go a little more in depth. But you'll see that coming in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.